Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and this is live stream number 88. And for this particular stream, there's a couple new things happening, so just so you know. So first off, this is my first stream where I am multi-streaming, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm actually streaming not only to YouTube, but also to Twitch. Wow, so amazing. Yes, but I'm streaming to Twitch for the first time. Now, I'm not, interesting. Oh, okay, I just realized something that's happening. Okay. All right, so anyway, yeah, I'm streaming to Twitch at the same time, and I'm not expecting much action over on Twitch. It's probably going to take a few streams before anyone starts showing up over there, but hopefully that's the case. I'm trying to grow this this community. We got Steven in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. I just realized, so I was replying to you through, what's it called? The service I'm using, Restream, but it's sending the reply to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So we're getting these, random, these messages without context from my end on Twitch. So I guess I got to be careful, if I'm replying to someone on, whichever service, I might want to, go to that particular platform. Steven says, I have Twitch. Well, very cool. Well, at some point, again, I've been doing this on YouTube for a while, so I'm still kind of new to Twitch, but maybe you can go back and forth and sort of see, see how things are going over on Twitch, later on, once I get the ball rolling and stuff. But all right, so yeah, I was asking Steven about some songwriting. Let's see here. Steven was saying, well, I decided to keep it mostly guitar. I honestly wanted to post it because it's more of a message than me singing. So I posted the actual thing, which is longer because I add electric guitar with the same chord movements. But I just wanted to change it up a bit. I'm planning to sample my own song and play it with my band and hopefully make it into something great. Yep, that sounds great. It takes, it takes some work. When you're learning how to write songs, you got to do it, And here's one thing to keep in mind. I know whenever you write something yourself, it's such a part of you that, when I used to sort of think that my songs, when I wrote them, they were almost like my own children or something, It's it's such a part of you, and it means so much to you. So it's always scary to share something. So kudos to you for sharing it, because it's such a vulnerable thing to put your art out there, to put out something that means so much to you, and then kind of to wait and see how people react to it. But I say that to say, just remember, songwriting is a learning process, and so whatever you come up with this time, I'm sure it'll be great, but I also know that the more you do it, you'll get better. And so it's okay if, what you release now does not have to be the final version. Just kind of write what you're capable of doing right now, and then you might move on to some other songs and then later come back and revisit this song and decide, you know what, I think I might do this differently, or, it would actually be cool to do this. And, that's just kind of how it goes. It's happened with me, too. I have old songs that, I liked the idea, but I had to go back and change the lyrics, or, there was a certain music section, I didn't like the melody at one part, and so I had to tweak that. That's kind of how it goes, It's just a learning process. So don't ever worry about I know that feeling. I know what it's like to be man, I want this to be the best thing ever. And yes, you should strive for that, but it's okay if you decide to change something later. That's fine. Just make something you're proud of right now, put it out, and then move on, work on to something else, and you can do what you'd like. Steven's saying, on Twitch you can have mods to help you out with people and other stuff. Yeah, I do know there's some pretty cool features over on Twitch. So I'm still, I'm so used to YouTube. Twitch is another planet for me. So I've got a bit to learn. But there you go, Steven. So the same way that you're kind of learning songwriting, I'm learning Twitch. So it goes for all of us. At some point, you just got to try it. You just got to try it and figure it out. Steven says, I did have my first hater the other day. And, that's going to happen. And the main thing, as far as haters go, because I've definitely... fortunately, I've received a lot of positive feedback, from the stuff I put out. But, every now and then I'll get someone who says a comment that kind of stings or kind of hurts. Or sometimes, I'll just get a dislike on a video or something. And it can be kind of frustrating. But I've sort of learned, a couple things when it comes to that. It's one, usually haters are just trying to get a reaction out of you. So like I don't even reply to them, like, because I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of getting a reaction out of me, you know. So it's just like I'll read it and then I'll just be like, whatever, you know. I don't delete it, I don't hide it or anything. I just you know, leave it, you know, like I just don't even bother with it. The other thing is you kind of have to take into account what they say, because depending on what you're working on, man. Sorry, preamp's acting up. You know, depending on what you're working on, lost my train of thought. Depending on what you're working on, there can be a little bit of truth to what they say, and sometimes that hurts. You know, if you're working on something and they just say, yeah, this stinks, and, you know, if that's how you feel about it, it's like, that can hurt, because you're like, man, they're justifying my insecurities, you know. They're basically saying what I'm scared to believe. But that's the key, is like, what do you believe? And so if someone says that, but you realize like, hey, I'm someone who's still learning, it's like maybe they don't like it, but, you know, I'm going to stick with it, and I know I'll get better, you know, that can kind of help you. And, you know, when you do make something that you like, sometimes someone might say something, and you just have to ask yourself, like, do you agree with them or not? And it's as simple as like, you know, if someone's like, man, this is a little boring. And it's like, boring? I really like it. I think it's interesting. So it's like, you just disagree. It's like, it hurts what they said, but it hurts a lot less when you don't actually believe it. Like when you realize, like, yeah, they're saying something mean, but I don't actually agree with what they're saying. So, you know, they're just words. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. But yeah, it'll happen. But yeah, just kind of keep having fun. I just said to myself, my dream isn't theirs. They aren't trying at the same thing I'm trying. I believed I was trying. It might have been bad, but the song's message was about mistakes. And yeah, that's part of it, which, you know, is, yeah, just continuing to try and continuing to learn. And that's like the other thing too, is we sort of touched base on this a little bit, but I think, you know, when people like really, when they go out of their way to verbalize like that they dislike something, I think a lot of times those are people who are probably struggling with their own insecurities. It's a lot easier to pull others down rather than to lift yourself up, you know? It's like, rather than trying to be good at something yourself, it's a lot easier to make yourself feel better by criticizing the people around you. And I'm cautious to use that. Like, I don't want that to be a lame excuse, like, oh, you're just jealous, you know? But there is some truth to that. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes people, the reason they spread hate is because it's their own way of comforting themselves. It's their own way, you know, you're hurting the others around you to kind of elevate yourself, you know, rather than, you know, being vulnerable and actually taking the risk and striving to be something better, because that's a lot harder to do. So yeah, it happens, but yeah, anyway, I think it's cool that you're writing some songs. I legitimately think, you know, the musical ideas you've got is sounding pretty cool, and so definitely excited to hear like kind of the finished product and where you go from there. Speaking of songs, I'm going to go ahead and open up with a song. But anyone who's just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. And, you know, later, once we have a few more people, we will get into this album cover tier list. I haven't even talked about that yet, but I'll explain that in a moment. Let me go ahead and play a song for you, Steven. Appreciate you tuning in, especially, I know you always tend to kind of show up late and you're kind of like, oh no, I forgot, which it's really not a big deal if you forget or anything. So, you know, yeah, appreciate you tuning in early. This one goes out to you, Steven. This is a song called Brothers to the End. Let me just get it set up. Hey, Adria, good to have you in the chat. About to dive into a song here, and yeah, and then we'll get things going. But I don't know if you heard me say, but I'm actually multi-streaming right now. So not only am I streaming to YouTube, but I'm also streaming to Twitch. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not expecting much action on Twitch. You know, you got to start somewhere. And so the first few streams, I'm probably not going to get any watches on Twitch, but hopefully that's kind of a way to attract some new listeners. So we'll see. Anyway, this one's called Brothers to the End. Hope you like it. we're unbreakable, bonded by our passion, undeniable, brothers till the very end. Just a bunch of outcasts, only meant for slaughter. But we will overcome this if we can band together. Look into my eyes, grab a hold of my hand. Remember who we are, brothers till the very end. Remember who we are. Remember who we are. Never thought I'd be alone. Always thought I'd have a home. One by one you fell away. Color stands for digging grave. What was once inseparable has become forgettable. Brothers till the very end, stripped of all its meaning. It's just me. And now it's just me. Distant fragments, shattered pieces. Thank you. All right, let's catch up with the chat. All right, let's see here. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. Let's see, Adria, thanks for joining in. Let's see. Let's see, Steven says, I got you, just send me the link to the Twitch after the stream and I'll follow you there too. Well, thanks, appreciate that. Adri says, hi, Steve. Did I get your name right? Haha, nice to meet you here. Love rocking out with you guys. Yeah, always appreciate you tuning in, Adria. Steven says, it's okay, you can call me whatever, it's totally fine. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to be called whatever, but so good to have whatever and Adria in the chat, but I'm just kidding. I'm not even a dad yet, and that's my dad jokes. All right, but yeah, this is Steven, Adria. I love these streams. I currently have my electric guitar next to me in case I get inspiration for something or an idea. Man, love that guitar. Thank you. Yep. I don't know if I talked much about it, but it's a Schecter Hellraiser, and yeah, it's been a good guitar for me, so definitely appreciate it. Adria, how's your week been? I know I'd seen some pictures. I don't know if you were just on vacation or if you just been hitting the local pool with the kids and just doing all kinds of fun summer activities. Looks like you and your family have been having a lot of fun. Steve and I were talking a little bit earlier. He's starting to do a little bit of songwriting himself and I think trying to get a band going and stuff. Yep, got some dad jokes. I can pull them out occasionally, so, that's just my cop out, if ever a joke's not like that great, it's like, well, I'll call it a dad joke and people will know it was intentionally bad. So we'll see. All right, so for anyone tuning in, one thing we are going to be doing in a little bit, I don't know if we're going to start this now or pretty soon, but we're going to be doing an album cover tier list. So just a reminder for you, I'll give you all kind of a little sneak peek. So this is a tier list, as you can see here. So we've got things ranked from top to bottom, S going down to F. I don't know who came up with these, I guess S stands for superior or, stupendous or something like that, super, so, because obviously S is not the first letter in the alphabet, at least not our alphabet, so, but S is like, something that's like really amazing, all the way down to F, something that's pretty poorly, that's me being nice, something that's pretty much awful. I think of C. C is kind of the middle ground. C is something that's like fine. It's like, it's not necessarily good or bad. It's just fine. Like it works, it gets the job done, but nothing special about it. And basically anything above C is how good it is. Is it like really good? Is it great? Is it amazing? And then anything below C is how bad it is. Is it like, yeah, that's poorly done, or yeah, that's just downright awful. So that's basically what a tier list is. Let's see, Adria says, yeah, local pool and 4th of July fun with the family. Yeah, we had a good 4th of July also. What all did you guys do? Steven, what did you do for 4th of July? Adria, any fun, highlights from the 4th of July? Me and my family, I've got a pretty big family. I've got a lot of siblings, and some of them are, actually, most of them, I think. Yeah, I think most of them are married now with kids of their own, so they're kind of, my mom likes to get everyone together, and sometimes that's hard to do with such a big family. And so, especially since there are so many of us that have our own families now. And so, so she, the day off on 4th of July, she and Dad were wanting to go hiking and, couldn't really get anyone else to kind of tag along and stuff. And at first, to be honest, like I was gonna stay home and just like kind of work on some stuff and then just kind of meet up with the family in the evening. But, I figured, I know mom, just loves spending time with the family. And so I thought it'd be a good chance to kind of spend some time with her and Dad. I don't always get to do that. So I went hiking with them, and it was a lot of fun. We had great weather for it. It was a pretty simple hike, nothing too spectacular, but there was enough like interest in the terrain and some variety to kind of keep things fresh. And we just had good conversation. We just kind of walked and talked about a lot of things. And so I'm really glad I went, glad to spend some time with them. And she seemed to really appreciate it too. So I don't know why it's so hard to do that sometimes, but it's, I think, we don't have a lot of time, and so time is such a hard thing to sacrifice sometimes. But I think, like we feel like if we can just get everything done, then we'll have time to, spend with the ones we love. But there's always something else to do. There's always more work to do, and so it's like, and you're not always going to have that time to spend with someone you love. And so it's a hard lesson sometimes to learn, but it's, I always feel good when I make that decision. So, that's my lesson for you guys today is just the people in your life that you love, if you have a chance to spend time with them, like just do it. Like, I know it's hard sometimes. I know it's like, I've got things to do. And it's like, well, those things can wait. It's not going to kill you. But, so yeah, that was nice. And then in the evening, we didn't have a place to go see fireworks, and the only place that was doing fireworks was going to be super crammed, and so we ended up just staying at home, just having a nice little cookout with burgers and hot dogs, and sitting around the fire pit and making s'mores with the kids. And when it did get dark, thankfully our neighbors, were blasting off some fireworks. Didn't have like the best view, but you could kind of catch them over the tree line. So yeah, it was a good 4th of July. Steven says I watched fireworks and celebrated my mom's birthday. Oh, that's cool. So her birthday is on July 4th, so she gets fireworks every year for her birthday. That's got to be nice. Well, awesome. Well, glad you guys all had a good 4th of July. But yeah, I think we're going to get into this tier list in a moment here. But what we're ranking, so I was kind of explaining this earlier. So yeah, so everything's just ranked from like really good to really bad. And what we are going to be ranking are album covers. So I'll go ahead. I'm going to post some some guidelines just to kind of clarify like what exactly we are, what are we judging here? Like what is the point? The topic is album covers, and what we are doing. Just a second. Whoops, I think I'm on the wrong one. There we go. Hey Stan, thanks for tuning in. Yep, good to have you. Hope you've had a pretty good week. We're kind of just getting started here, so posting some guidelines. Hopefully this works. Gonna do a little test here. This might not work. Nope. Well, I don't know. That might have worked. It kind of worked. That might look a little sloppy in the chat. I'm not sure. Oops, something went wrong, so it didn't even work. I'll try it one more time. Okay, it might not even matter. Oh, man. Okay. All right, so Stan, I don't know if you know. Oh, hey, Jack, thanks for tuning in. Yep, I'm doing well. How about yourself, Jack? Stan, Jack, how was your 4th of July? Was it a good one? Any highlights from it? We were just talking about that. I spent the day, or the morning, I should say, I went on a hike with my parents, so it was kind of nice spending some time doing that. And then in the evening, got to spend time with the family, just good old cookout with hot dogs and hamburgers, making s'mores with the kids around the fire pit. And then we got to catch a few fireworks over the tree line, from the neighbors. So that was kind of the extent of our 4th of July. We're going to be diving into this tier list soon. Stan's already ready to go, already making recommendations. So we'll get there. We hadn't started yet, but so I think you guys can see that. I had posted something, and at first it was acting like it didn't work, but it came through. So here's what we are doing for this stream. We are going to be having a tier list for album covers. Now, just if anyone doesn't know what a tier list is, basically you can see it here. Everything's ranked from really good to really bad. Basically, I think of C as fine. Like anything that's in the C category, it's not necessarily good or bad. It's just fine. Like it gets the job done. Anything above C is like how good it is. Like is it pretty? Is it like, oh, this is really good, or this is great, or this is amazing, And then anything below C is how bad it is. Is it like, oh, it's poorly done, or yeah, that's downright awful, And so today we're going to be ranking album covers. So a few things to keep in mind. I put in some guidelines. One, keep in mind that we are judging the art, not the music. So, it could be like an amazing album. It could be like a 10 out of 10 album, but if the artwork isn't that great, it might be like D tier artwork, even though the album is S tier, or vice versa, it might be like really cool artwork, like, wow, that looks amazing, it could be like A tier artwork, but then the music is kind of like, not that great. It could be like C tier or something like that. So just keep that in mind. So don't be too attached to, the music portion of it. The music might be amazing, but we are purely judging the artwork. Now, with that said, the music still plays a factor because we want to, you want to make sure, like artwork should do a couple things. Like album artwork, one, it should be kind of appropriate for the genre. It should be like, oh yeah, this really, this is a great visual representation of the vibe for this album, for this music and stuff. So the music obviously plays a factor. And then also, like, it should kind of intrigue the viewer. Like, when they see that, it should be like, man, I want to check that out. Yes, that's artwork that makes me want to listen and see what this is all about, So just keep that in mind. We're judging the art, not the music. Secondly, all art styles and music genres are welcome. So it's not like it has to be a particular art style, because some albums, they are photographed. Some albums, they are, drawn, or it's graphic design, or whatever it might be. So any art style is welcome. And any genre. I mean, we're probably going to be focusing on rock and metal, but rock and metal, but we'll any genre is fine if you want to bring in pop or country or whatever genre. But we'll probably try to stick with rock and metal mostly. Jack says, well, my feelings got hurt on the 4th of July, and now I think I might be getting sick. Yeah, life is complicated. I'm sorry things are going tough, and sorry your feelings got hurt. Hopefully hopefully during this stream we can help you feel a bit better. Jack, just so you know, like I certainly appreciate you tuning in. Like I hate it that some things can be pretty hard and negative for you, but I hope that when you come to these streams that it's just a little something to pick you up, just a little something to encourage you and help you overcome whatever's been kind of beating you down a bit. And yeah, I'm sorry you're kind of dealing with some sickness now. I'm not sure if it's just like a cold or something like that. Best I can suggest, just stay hydrated, get you plenty of water, get a lot of vitamin C. I don't know if you ever get those emergency powders. It's like a powder with it's a supplement of vitamin C, and you just mix it in with water or whatever drink you're drinking. And I drink one of those every day whenever I'm dealing with sickness and I'm trying to get over fast. So. Eating lots of fruits, getting lots of vitamin C, that really helps your immune system. And yeah, just getting plenty of rest, making yourself comfy. So hopefully you're comfy right now as you're watching this stream. Sorry if, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry that's been tough. And but hopefully we can have some fun and kind of cheer you up a bit on this particular stream. So definitely don't be shy to nominate some album covers that you like, or to participate in all of this. So one last guideline. So we're judging the art, not the music. All styles and genres are welcome. And then lastly, I thought I'd just say, a little weird is good. This might be my own personal opinion, but that's something I've noticed is like, I think every album cover should be just a little weird. Like there should be something kind of like, because weird is attention getting. You see something that's a little off, and it's like, whoa, what's the deal with that? Like that gets you to look in the first place. If it's just like pretty or just cool looking, like that's fine. But it's like you could just be like, oh wow, that looks cool, but it might not actually get you to like really look at it. But if something's like a little weird, it's like, man, what's the deal with that? I think that's kind of a subtle like technique or subtle like tactic for creating a good album cover. So yeah, so just keep that in mind. All right, well, with that said, I think we are going to dive into this. Jack says, I always seem like a downer, but I always look forward to your streams. Well, I'm glad you always look forward to them. And to be honest, like I appreciate your honesty. I'm glad that because I know it's tough, and I'm glad you at least like maybe this feels like I'm glad you feel comfortable. Kind of being honest about that and not feeling like, well, I've just got to kind of, put on the mask and like pretend and stuff. And so, it's, I certainly hate it for you, but at the same time, I appreciate the honesty, and it kind of helps me know like sort of what you're dealing with and just helps me to be sensitive to it. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and dive into this. So Stan had a nomination a while ago. And I think we got one from Steven as well. So Pink Floyd, The Wall. So yeah, let's go ahead and start like diving into this. So here we go. Let me find, there it is. Okay. All right, gonna look this up. So Pink Floyd. Yeah, so if anyone has any album cover recommendations, go ahead and make them. The Wall, and I'll search them up. All right. Here we go. So now let me see here. I do want to, one concern. I'm searching on this thing, so I do want to make sure I'm looking up the right album cover. The Wall. Okay. All right, so here we go. So everyone should be able to see this. There we go, Pink Floyd, The Wall. And if by chance I get it wrong, I saw another one with black text, but I don't know. There's like two. There's some with like colored text and some with black text. So you might have to let me know. All right. So I'm definitely, I'm a little familiar. I'm not going to seem like I'm super familiar with Pink Floyd's music, but again, we're just looking purely at the artwork. So I think I've seen this cover before. I don't know that this one is as iconic as their other cover. I'm not sure the album, but they do, the one, everyone's got that shirt, that Pink Floyd shirt. So here are my thoughts. To be honest, like, this gets the job done. Like it's a wall. It's got the name on it. You know, it's very simple, and it's like, okay, cool. You know, it's like sometimes simple is good. But you know, for me, it's like maybe it's just a little too simple. You know, it's kind of like for me, it just works. But there's nothing that's like, wow, that is such a great album cover. It's like, man, that is perfect. That's amazing. You know, so I wouldn't rank it like extremely high, but you know, it definitely works. Like it's definitely like a cool aesthetic. So I'm not going to say my vote yet, but what's everyone thinking on this one? What is everyone else's kind of vote? Where would you guys rank this one? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Let's see here. Sorry, catching up with the chat. All right. Yep, we got another nomination, Human Clay album cover by Creed. We got Rocky Horror Picture Show is so androgynous. I think I've heard that word, but I don't think I know what it means. All right, so Steven's saying B tier. The Gig in the Sky one, that might be what it's called, you know, the rainbow one. Hey, Adria. Well, you know, I have to. Yep. I'm trying to think how you. I know that stands for Nothing is Real, and this is. I forget what U stands for. Something. This is because it's not a simulation, unless you spelt it wrong. You know. Nothing is real, and this is a simulation. So is it an AS at the end? I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll check that one in a moment. Not the one I remember. It was to record album. I had Little Creatures on it. Huh. I'm not sure. You might have to Google it and see if you can find which one you were thinking. Jack's saying, yeah, I'd probably put it in C tier. So we've got C and B. Any other votes on how we would rank this one? I would say, yeah, it's definitely C or B. I'm not really sure. If I'm being honest, I think I'd say C tier, you know. Like, it's fine. Like, I think it looks kind of cool. It's not bad, but C tier is, like, gets the job done. Which, you know, to be honest, I could say this myself. As someone who's releasing music, a lot of my album artwork is probably C tier. And that's because the stage I'm at in my career, like, the album cover is not the priority right now. The funny thing is people probably hear the song and see the video before, like in this day and age, people probably hear the song and see the video before they see the album cover. And people don't buy albums anymore. So, you know, you still need some kind of image to go with your song, but it's definitely not like a priority these days. So, so I usually aim for C tier, you know. I try to do something like, if I can do something cool, great, but I just want to make sure it like looks fine. So this is not me like, you know, yeah, hating on anything. It's just, sometimes you just need something that works. I'm going to look up that other album cover because I would say while this one might be C tier, there's that other one, album cover. I'm sure it's going to come up. Yep, there it is right there. That's not, man, it's not, what is that one called? What's that album called with the little prism in the cover? I'm looking it up now. Dark Side of the Moon. There we go. I'm going to look that up one more time. Sorry, the service I'm using, like I can look up images, but it's sometimes you have to be a bit more specific. Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, here we go. That'll work. So I personally think, let's see. I know I've seen this everywhere, and I feel like this is kind of iconic, so, like, I don't know. Like, I think this might have to be S tier. Like, I don't even know if I'm, like, super familiar with all the songs on this album, but I just know I see this image everywhere. And so I think that's got to be at least A or S tier. What are you guys' thoughts? Let's see here. Oh, it's yep. It is. Nothing is real, and this is a simulation. Yeah, so it was an A. Okay. Yeah, because I knew. But yeah, I forget how you spell that. Or sorry, pronouncing. I don't know if it's Narratus, Narradius, you know. But I know what album you're talking about. We'll definitely check that out. C tier for drop C guitar. Duh. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's why I tuned it. That's why I tuned lower. The lower you tune, the higher your album cover goes on the tier list. It's just an image of how light reflects. You know, Jack says A tier. Any other votes for this one? Yeah, I would say A. Yeah, A tier sounds good. A or S tier, something like that. I mean, like if we took out, like if I like just looked at this, I don't know. I feel like this, like if you compare the two, they both have a similar technique where it's like it's sort of simple. You know, it's just kind of like a single image to kind of get the point across. But I do feel like this one is a much more striking image. Like this one definitely creates more intrigue. So I feel like if this was an album, if I saw that, I'd be like, huh, what is this? You know, like I'd be more curious to check it out. Where the other one, I might, you know, kind of pass it, might be more likely to pass it by. Let's see here. Yeah, Steven's saying A. All right, yeah, I think we're going to put that one A tier. So, yeah, we'll rank that one there. Sorry, the cover is not much different, but when you open it, it has a lot more going on. Well, maybe next time we'll have to do a tier list for, you know, artwork, album cover accessories or interior. I know sometimes you can open them up and they've got like a bunch of special stuff on the inside. So, but nope, we're just looking at the, you know, straight up like what you see when you first open it up. So, all right, there we go. Let's see here. Let's get Adria's request in. So this is a Chevelle album cover. Chevelle. Hold on, how's it? I'm trying to remember how it's spelled. Nothing is real, and this is a simulation. That's what it is. Okay. Nothing is real, and this is a simulation. Okay. All right, so this was Chevelle's most recent release, which this album cover, it kind of makes sense. Like, there's been kind of a progression with their album covers. They used to do more like kind of photographic stuff, and then they've gradually sort of transitioned into more like kind of graphic design, art stuff like this. Let's see here. All right, so keep in mind, for anyone who hasn't heard yet, we are judging the album cover. We're not judging the music. So you guys know me. I'm a huge Chevelle fan, but I'm just gonna say what I think of this particular cover. I like the color palette. It's definitely like, you know, it's got a cool color palette where it kind of creates intrigue and stuff. And they do have kind of some prog elements. So I guess it kind of, I do think it kind of complements the music well. I think it's pretty solid. I think I'd have to go B tier. Like, I think it's good. I think it's more than just something that gets the job done. I don't know if it's like, wow, that is amazing. That's an amazing album cover there, you know? It's cool artwork. And that's the thing, too. That's the weird thing about album artwork, is that it's more than just, like, a cool picture. It has to serve... We'll get your Steven, don't worry. When we're judging album artwork, it's more than just like a cool picture. It's got to serve the music, you know? Like, for example, like I've always loved like anime as an art style, but just because you put anime on an album cover doesn't mean it's going to be the right artwork for that style, or it doesn't even mean it's going to be a good album cover, you know? So just because it's like good artwork doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good album cover, if that makes sense. So like this is something like, you know, if I had a friend who made this, I'd be like, wow, that looks really cool, you know? But if I was just from a consumer point of view, if I saw this as an album cover, I'd be like, that's pretty cool, you know? So for me, I'd probably go B tier. But what do you guys think? Steven's saying B tier. It's an alien, you know? Let's see. Now, is there... Oh, that's pretty cool. Now, if you're pointing out, like, the head, and, yeah, you can see, like, the eyes. Now, I will say that's pretty cool. Might have to bump it up a little bit for that. You do see, like, it's an alien head. The door opening up, the, like, sci-fi door. It's, like, the two eyes, and the whole thing is, like, a head. So that's actually pretty cool. I tell you what, I might give it another plus for that. Might boom it up for the creativity and like the kind of subtle, like, you know, hidden artwork in there, you know, the cleverness of it. What do you guys think? Does that earn a grade up, or you know, is it still B tier? Yep, Stan was saying, yep, it was a 2-record album, talking about the Wall one. Let's see. C and A. Okay, A. Yep. All right, yep, just trying to catch up. So, I tell you what, for the Alien and for Adria, we'll bump this one up to, you know, sometimes people will do like half grades, like they'll do that, you know, where it's like it's a B plus, you know. Maybe we'll give it a B plus, you know. We'll put it like right there. So it's because again, I do agree, like it's really cool artwork. Whatever. We'll just do A. So A would be cool. That's one thing I was going to say. The truth is, like, I think the lowest grade we're going to get on this stream, by the way, is probably C tier. Like, you know, I've never really, you know, especially from like established artists, like I can't even think of too many albums that I would rank D or E. You know, probably the lowest I'm going to grade something as C. So maybe you guys, you know, when we get to that point, maybe you guys can point out like, oh, here's some rough album covers. But all right, let's check out Steven's suggestion. We got, what was it? Clay something by Creed. Human Clay by Creed. Here we go. Human Clay by Creed. All right, I don't know. We'll see if I've seen this one or not. All right, so if I had to guess, this looks like it came out early 2000s, maybe late 90. Kind of looks like this picture was rendered with like early CGI. It definitely has like that kind of like slightly weird vibe, which I think is good in an album cover. I think that creates a little bit of intrigue. So it's like, wow, that's kind of, you know, it definitely gets your attention. You know, when something's like a little off, it's like, what's the deal with that? You know, so I think it kind of succeeds on that point. And, you know, certainly appropriate for the album title, Human Clay, and it's this dude coming up from the dirt. I don't know. I think it's pretty solid. I'd probably give it like B tier, something like that. You know, I'm not going to say it's like an amazing cover, but I think it does more than just getting the job done. Like, I think it's a solid album cover. So I would say I would rank it B tier. Yeah, good. Weird is not always a negative thing, you know. Weird just means it's not normal, you know. But just because it's not normal doesn't mean it's bad, you know. Adrian's saying I don't have to bump it up. Yeah, that one might be the one. I don't know. I might have been a little biased on that one, but yeah. Steven's saying he sees it. Jack's saying, not really sure. Jack's saying B sounds good. Like B, almost A. You know, yeah. Got another suggestion from Stanley here. All right. So yeah, I think we're gonna go B with this one. All right. There we go. Yeah, I think B's a good place. It actually kind of reminds me, like just so you know, let me share like one of mine real quick. So you all know that I like Flyleaf. That's like one of my favorite bands, and this is actually one of, if not my favorite Flyleaf album, Memento Mori. Memento Mori. And this is kind of an interesting album cover. But I'll tell you right now, I think this is probably a B tier album cover. Just so you guys know, like, kind of what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. So, first off, I thought it was an odd choice that they have the Amazon logo in the corner there. No, I'm just kidding. You know, that's not supposed to be there. But you can see the vocalist. There's Lacey right there. And I like the logo, actually. That's actually a snake right there. You can see the snake kind of curled around. And I don't know, you've got these people playing trumpets, and they are really odd looking. And it almost looks like one of those, I don't know what you call it, but you know, like when you cut out, like you take a picture of someone and you cut around them and then you like paste it, you get a bunch of pictures and like kind of, you know, glue it onto like a backdrop or something. It kind of looks like that a little bit. And so it's got that weird factor. It's like weird enough where it's like, what the heck's going on with that? You know, it's like I don't even really get what this means. So I think it gets points for like the intrigue. But, you know, I don't see this and think like, wow, that is some amazing, you know, that's an amazing album cover. So like, you know, even for me, like a band that I love, an album that I think is like a 10 out of 10, like the album I would probably rank S tier. But for me, I would rank this B tier. Curious what your guys' thoughts are on that one. Steven says, unfortunately, I have to go do something. If I don't come back to the stream, thanks so much for the wonderful stream. If I don't, yep, no worries. Hey, you know, hope you can make it back. But yeah, it happens. Sometimes people have to slip in and out. So, yep, I'll if you come back, we'll see you later. If not, you know, I appreciate you tuning in for the little bit that you could. So. Jack says, take care, Steve. Hope to see you later. Steven says, I'd say very interesting. So it draws me in to understand it more. Honestly, A. Yep, see y'all. Just wanted to rate that one. Yep. So Steven says A. I'd be curious what you guys think. You know, I was going to rank it B, but what do y'all think about that album cover? Especially, like, I think it's kind of cool to hear someone rate an album cover who maybe hasn't heard the music. So like if you haven't even listened to that album, you're kind of like you're probably the best judge because you're totally judging just off the artwork, and not you know, a preconceived notion. Yep, Jack says B. So yeah, I think A is a little nice. Again, I think it's a good album cover, but yeah, I would say B. Stanley says B, looks like a deep cover. But yeah, so cool. All right, so I know Stan made another suggestion. Why don't you guys go ahead and let me know what other albums you want me to check out, and I'm going to go ahead and dive into another song here. So let me find my set list real quick. There we go. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and play another song for you guys, but whatever albums you'd like me to check out, yeah, we'll look them up, and then we shall see where they rank on the tier list. I think we're already off to a pretty good start, so. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm getting all tangled up in my cables here, so. All right. Again, anyone who's just tuning in, we're doing a tier list for album covers. And actually, I'm going to go ahead, let me adjust that screen real quick. There we go. So I've got more room to rock out, you know. Anyone who's just tuning in, we are doing a tier list. Yeah, let me know some album covers, some of your favorites. If there's any like wonky looking ones, you know, and you're like, you got to see this one, you know, just let me know, and we'll check them out. So anyway, this one's an instrumental. Hope you like it. This one's called Ascension. Just waiting for the elevator to get to my floor. Here it comes. Thank you. Again, that one's called Ascension, and that one is available on Spotify and all those different music platforms. So if you liked it, you can listen to it again at those places. All right, let's catch up with the chat. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Let me get this pulled up. What do we got going on here? Wow, really good, Quincy. Thanks, Adria. Appreciate that. Oh, thanks for the applause, you all. Glad. Yeah, thanks, Stan. Yep, glad it's sounding good out there. Awesome. Well, any more suggestions? I know Stan made one. We're going to dive back into our tier list here. So anyone who's just joining us, don't be shy. Say hello. And yeah, we're doing a tier list. Let me bring it back up so you all can see it. Here we go. So, yep, we are ranking album covers. So, again, to clarify, C is kind of like fine. It's not good or bad. It's just, it works, Anything above C is like how good it is, and anything below C is how bad it is. And so we've had a few suggestions here, and we've gone ahead and ranked them as such. And so, let's see. Let me scroll back up. Stan had shared one. Guns N' Roses. I don't know if that's a typo there. Something tight for destruction. I think he meant appetite for destruction would be my guess. So, all right, let's check that one out. So, if anyone else has a suggestion, go ahead and make it. We got Guns and Roses. Appetite for destruction. Here we go. Let's see what we get here. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have seen this like on a t-shirt or something. So, yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So, some pretty straightforward artwork. We got the band name, and we've got all the members as little skeletons. So that's fun. And then we got like they're all on kind of a cross here, and then the title underneath. I think this is pretty solid, and I think it's a good effort. If I had to rank it, I'm not going to say like, wow, that's amazing, but I think it's a good album cover, and I think it's certainly more effort than just like something that gets the job done. So I would probably rank this B tier. What are your guys' thoughts? Where would you place this? So it is fun. I do think it's fun that they kind of drew them all up as skeletons. That's they all got skulls. I'm pretty sure I've seen other bands do that kind of thing where they'll take the members and sort of distort them in some way. So yeah, so right now I'm thinking I'm leaning towards B tier, but curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this one. And if you have any other suggestions, any other album covers you'd like to request. So I'll go ahead, as I'm waiting, I'll go ahead and put it B tier for now. But yep, be curious to hear what you guys think. I might, because I'm gonna try to do like an average consensus. Like it's not just where I think it goes. If some of you think it goes higher, we might bump it up. If some of you think it goes lower, we might bump it down. But that one I'm gonna put B tier for now. While we're waiting for more suggestions, I'll go ahead and share. Let me share what I do think. Let's see. This might be S tier. I don't know. I want to share a Killswitch album. Here, this is actually a good example of. Here's a good example of an album that might not have been that great, but I think the artwork is like awesome looking. Let me see if I can even remember what it's called real quick. Killswitch Engage. I know it's a Killswitch album, but it was their most recent release. Oh, it's Atonement. There we go. Yeah, I'm glad that came up. Atonement. So this was an album. To be honest, it was a little underwhelming. There were a few good songs on this one, but it's definitely not like the best Killswitch record. But it might be my favorite Killswitch artwork. Like, look at that, man. Like, that is sick. Like that's so. I love that color palette. Like somehow they used green and red without making it look like Christmas. Like it doesn't look like Christmas. It looks brutal and energetic, and like there's so much going on, but it's not chaotic. It's like beautiful, like all this intricacy. I think their bassist does all their album covers. I think he's done them since like the first one, but he's a pretty artsy guy. And to be honest, Killswitch has a very good track record of album covers. Like all their album covers have been pretty great, Let's see here. Let's see here. Now, I don't know if you guys, if these recent ratings are for the Killswitch one or if these are for, or if that's for the, whatchamacallit, for the Guns N' Roses one. Yep, so I might be delayed here. Adri says, not really a fan, but I'm a girl, B tier. So is that for the Killswitch one? So, or, because I don't know if I'm getting behind here, but yeah, so this one, for me, I would rank this one pretty high. But again, some of you might say differently. This one's got to be at least A tier. I would probably put it S tier, but I don't know if you guys think differently, But like I don't know. I think that's just like such well-crafted artwork right there. And again, like I really like the color palette of it too. It's just I don't know, pretty sweet. Let's see here. Okay, Guns N' Roses. Yep. Okay, so yeah, I think these were for. Yeah. Stanley was saying better than just a picture of them. So yeah. Jack was saying A tier. So that one's really cool. Killswitch. Okay, cool. Yeah. Maybe the vote would be. Maybe we'll have to clarify like which one you're voting for. So you can kind of just say A tier for this group or A tier for that album cover. It looks like I think B tier is pretty good. I think Jack was voting for A tier for Guns N' Roses, but I think B tier is pretty solid. For me, like I said, I'd probably put this one S tier, especially for like Killswitch, but but I'm curious to kind of hear your guys' thoughts on that one. So again, I'll put it there for now, but if you guys are like, oh, it's cool, but I think it's more A tier, we might drop it. But as far as like Killswitch goes, like that's definitely my favorite album cover that they've done. I'd say most of the time they rank around like A and B. They kind of are in that department and stuff. But that's not even my favorite album. Again, it was kind of a slightly underwhelming album, but great artwork. Let's see. Any other recommendations? Anyone else have a suggestion for what they'd like? Jack says, I'll be back soon. All right. Yep. Take care. We'll catch you when you tune back in. Let's see. I'll share another one real quick. Let's see what else we got here. I got to catch up with my my notes here. Now here's one. Here's another one that I think might have to go either S or A tier. You guys have to let me know. I wanted to bring up the Nirvana album cover, and probably when I say that, you already know which cover I'm talking about. Nirvana. Like I'm trying to remember the name of it, but you've all seen it. The one with the little swimming baby. Album cover. Now, I do like Nirvana. I wouldn't say, there's people who are like huge fans. They think they're like the greatest band ever. I don't like them that much, but I do like them, especially this album. Like there's a lot of great songs on here. So it's like, yeah, I like Nirvana. It's not like, I'm not going to say they're one of my favorite bands, but I do think this is a great album. Yeah, Nevermind, that's what it's called. But this is one of those album covers that I think, again, it kind of has that like sort of weird factor. Like, wait a second, what am I looking at here? And like, it's such an odd picture. Like, why is this, this baby in the water swimming after this dollar? Let's see, let me look that up. Nevermind. So I'd be curious where you guys would rank this one. But I personally think like this is a pretty iconic picture. Here we go. Yeah, little baby swimming after the dollar on the fishing line hook, and I feel like you see that album show up everywhere, or that album cover show up everywhere, and it's just like I don't know. It's even like you know, like if I had to choose, like, you know, for me, I would lean more towards like the kill switch style. Like I like that better. But I think as far as like what an album cover does, as far as like getting people's attention and just being like an image that sticks in your mind, like even when I said the Nirvana album cover, like you could probably already see this in your head before I said it, you know? And so I feel like that means something. So I think that's probably got to go S tier. But I'd be curious what you guys think. Adri has a suggestion. How about Def Leppard's Hysteria? There are so many cool album covers, unfortunately feeling limited to what we are listening to. Yep. Yes, Adria. A, love it. Yeah, that Nirvana one is so simple, but has a big impact for sure. Yeah, it's just kind of like, again, as far as like album artwork goes, because again, it's more than just, it is more than just the artwork. It's how it kind of in context with the music, like how it reflects like the album or the vibe of the album or just the purpose that it's supposed to serve. So even like, yeah, even me, even though like I think it's kind of funny, like even though I personally favor like the artwork for something like the Kill Switch Engage one, I think as a straight up, like as far as the art of album artwork, I think this is probably a better album cover than like the Kill Switch one. Like if you put these two next to each other, like they're both amazing, but I feel like the Nirvana one is the one that people are going to be like, what's going on with that? You know, like that's the one that's going to like draw people in, and that's like the image that's probably more likely to stick in their mind. You know, that just goes to show, like, even already, it's kind of cool putting all these next to each other because you can already see, like, there's so many different ways to showcase artwork, you know? It's pretty incredible. So, all right, let's look that one up. Let's look up Def Leppard's Hysteria. Let's see what we got going here. Yep, let me search that one. If anyone else has a suggestion, let me know. Def Leppard Hysteria. I hope I'm spelling that right. All right, so hopefully that is the correct album cover. As far as I can tell, it looks right. All right, well, I think this one looks pretty cool. It's definitely like kind of got that bizarre factor, like, whoa, you know, what's going on? Kind of has a cool color palette. Let's see here. I think that one's pretty solid, especially, you know, the title being Hysteria, and it does look like whoever this character is and whatever's going on, like, looks like they are, you know, being overwhelmed by something. I would say I'm torn between A and B. Like, I think it's pretty cool. I think I kind of like, there's like a lot of intricacy in it, which is really cool. So I would say either A or B. What are your guys' thoughts on this one? I'm going to put it here for now, but we'll either, whoops, that is not what I meant to do. There we go. And, but yeah, I would say either A or B for this one. Yep, A. Again, you guys might have to specify like what you're voting on, because yeah, Stan, you said yep A, but I don't know if there's a delay and you're voting on the Nirvana one or if you're voting on the Def Leppard one. So the drummer does all their art, so I guess you're talking about Def Leppard right now. So that's what I'm picking up from the context. So definitely pretty cool. Adria says B for her. Really, how cool? Yeah, it is cool when like the band members do that. So again, it's like yeah, when like one of the band members is also just really artistic, and it's like, oh, they you know, they like doing this stuff, and so they design all the artwork for them. So yeah, looks like we're leaning towards B tier for now with this one, but yeah, sometimes it's a little tricky to tell like which one you're voting for. So yeah, just say you know, which album cover that you're voting towards. All right, I think we'll do one more, and then I'm going to play another song for you guys. Might do two more if you guys have a suggestion. I'm going to bring up one of my suggestions real quick, but if you guys have one, we'll do that as well. Let's see here. Man, I keep losing my list. Where is... Okay, I found it. Let's see here. I want to share... yeah, I want to share a couple that I think are nice. Here's one. Def Leppard, sorry. Okay, cool, gotcha. All right, here's one that I think is a good album cover. I think this is a solid A. This is from a band called The Promise Ring. The Promise Ring album cover. And I've always just liked this album cover. It's definitely like an image that kind of just, to me, it kind of pops out at you. It's got kind of a good color palette in that way. So here it is. So yeah, you can see it's like, it kind of looks like it's a Polaroid photo, you know, of just some kind of like diner, some kind of restaurant, or I guess they might be at a theme park, you know, it says rides, and you see kind of this, you know, rainbow color palette here, and then they've got, for some reason they chose to add like these dots here. Like, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be something, you know, like, but something with it cutting off and having the white up here and then just having these colors, I don't know, it's just like, to me, it sticks out. Like, again, if I were like walking in a store and I saw this album cover, I think it would definitely catch my eye. So, and it definitely kind of matches like with the tone of the music and stuff. So, so for me, I would give this like A tier. And this is one where it's like, it's kind of more of the aesthetic of it. You know, it's like, this isn't a painting or anything. This is like a photograph and then the way it's been stylized. So again, I feel like, kind of like in the same vein as like the Nirvana one, where it's like, you know, it's just something about it is just kind of eye-catchy. And so it's not like this amazing, like, you know, painting or something, but it's just, you know, I think sometimes that's the thing about artwork. Like, the main point of artwork is like just supposed to be like an image that kind of like sticks in your mind, like something that you can close your eyes and you can still visualize it, you know? And I think sometimes if it's too complicated, it might look cool while you're looking at it, but then the moment you look away, it's like you can't even remember what it looked like. And so, so I would rank this one A tier. I don't know what you guys think. We may, you know, bump that down if you guys you know, don't quite agree and are like, I don't know, that just kind of looks, you know, boring to me or something. Oh, hey Daniel, thanks for tuning in. Daniel, we are ranking some album covers right now. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, you know, let me know. We're doing a tier list for them. You can kind of see which ones we've done so far. Few guidelines to keep in mind. One, we are judging the artwork, not the music. So all these albums, it's really like, it's not about, you know, how great the album is or how bad the album is. You know, a few examples of that is like, yeah, you know, it could be like an amazing 10 out of 10 album, but, you know, if the artwork really isn't that great, then, you know, that's what we're judging, you know. Even one example, if you look at the top here in S tier, we put a Killswitch Engage album up there, and it's actually not a great Killswitch Engage album. It's a little underwhelming. So the album itself is probably like C tier, but the artwork's like awesome for it. So that's kind of what we're judging. We're sticking around with rock and metal, but really any style of music is welcome. You know, any genre and any artwork style. It can be like photograph or painting or drawing or whatever it might be. And the one thing. I don't know if you have any thoughts or opinions on what makes a good album cover, but for me, I think every album cover needs like, it needs to be just a little weird. Not too weird. I've seen some album covers go too far, but you need that like kind of weird thing that sort of gets your attention, like, whoa, what is that? You know, kind of, you want to investigate it because it's a bit odd, you know? And so I think a little weird is always good for an album cover. And as far as how the ranking is working, you know, C is like fine. You know, C is like, you know, it's not necessarily good or bad. It's just, it gets the job done. You know, that's what C tier is. And then anything above C is like how good it is. You know, is it like pretty good? Is it really good? Is it amazing? And then anything below C is like how bad it is. And to be honest, I don't know if we're going to get anything below C, you know, unless any of you have like some suggestions like, no, you got to see this album cover. This one's pretty rough. You know, it's like, you know, maybe you've got some D or E tier suggestions, but I don't know. I think we're all pretty friendly on this stream. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like we're all going to, you know, kind of be ranking it between C and S. Yeah. Daniel says, well, back in the day, album covers played a big part in how I chose and found out about some bands. And I would agree with that. Like, that's kind of what I was saying. Like, even my own album artwork, like the stuff I do, like album artwork really isn't a priority in music these days. You know, people are going to hear the song and probably see the video anyway before they even see the album artwork. And so they're not gonna, you know, like if they like the song, they're probably not going to care what the album artwork looks like. So for myself, like, you know, it's just album artwork isn't really a priority. Like, I definitely try to do something that's, you know, that gets the job done and like works. But even for my own stuff, I would admit, like, my album artwork is like C tier stuff, you know. At best, maybe I've put out like one or two that's like, oh no, that's B tier. But for the most part, you know, my album artwork is just good enough to get the job done. But back in the day, you know, when you go into a music store, like some people, they might buy an album just because of the artwork. It might, you know, that's kind of what draws their attention to it. So that's why it has to be like, it has to have that intrigue factor, you know. It's like, it can't just be something cool or something that works. It's got to have that kind of, that little bit of weirdness that sort of piques your curiosity and kind of makes you like, you know, what's that about? You know, like makes you want to kind of investigate it. So yeah, Daniel, if you've got any nominations, let me know. I'll go ahead while you're here. I'm going to go ahead and play a song for you guys. But yeah, if anyone has any suggestions for nominations, you know, any album covers that we should check out and see where they rank, let me know. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to play another song for you guys, and feel free to let me know which album covers we should check out next. All right. Sometimes life can be a bit challenging. Lots of, you know, hard circumstances you have to overcome sometimes. But, you know, just don't give up. You know, keep going. Get up again when you fall down. And I've actually been seeing a few quotes lately. Some of you guys know that I've been involved in this Tony Hawk contest, which I might go ahead and promote that while I'm talking about this song. So, but, you know, as I've been posting each day, I was kind of trying to think like, you know, just kind of think of some ways to keep the posts interesting. And so one thing I was doing like on Facebook is just looking up quotes about perseverance. And there were some pretty cool ones on there. And I saw this very simple one. It was a Japanese proverb, but it says, fall down 7 times, stand up 8 times. And I kind of like that. It's like, you know, you fall down 7 times, but you're going to stand up 8 times. Every time you fall down, you're going to get up. You know, you're just going to get up one more time. You know, it doesn't matter how many times you fall up. You're always going to get up one more time. And so, you know, just keep that in mind. You know, whatever challenges you're facing, you can overcome them. Don't worry, just get back up. So this one's called Get Up Again. Time in hand is... Oh man, I forgot the words. Time in hand is running short. But even when you mess up, you just keep going. No end in sight, and nothing's going right. Why even try? There's nothing left inside. It always hurts to lose what you wanted, but it feels worse to never have tried it. It's not the first and won't be the last time, so get up again. Still holding on, still pushing through this marathon. Give all you've got. There's not much further left to crawl. No end in sight, and nothing's going right. Why even try? There's nothing left inside. It always hurts to lose what you wanted, but it feels worse to never have tried it. It's not the first and won't be the last time, so get up again. Stand your ground. Get up again. And again. Oh, thank you. Again, that one's called Get Up Again, and that one's available on Spotify or wherever you like to listen to music. So if you enjoyed that one, you can listen to it again later. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. Okay, diving back in. All right, looks like we got maybe a few. Yeah, Daniel says, I have a few death metal bands that I got into because of the artwork. Obituary, Cannibal Corpse, Napalm Death. All right, cool. Well, we'll have to check out any particular albums from those bands that kind of stuck out to you. We'll check out some of their artwork. Adria says, how about Collective Souls Dosage, lady with honey and bees flying around her mouth? We'll check it out. I don't know if I'm familiar with that one. Daniel says, I find it interesting now that the artist itself plays a huge part in the popularity of some of those bands. That could be a factor. I don't know if you've noticed that like in today's, or if that was a bit more like back in the day. But yeah, I could see where, like, especially when people were basically walking into a music store. Like, the way we buy music now is so interesting. Like, back then, you didn't get to sample the song. You just kind of, like, walked in. And if you knew a band and they put out a new album, like, that was probably enough. Just being a fan was probably enough for you to buy it. But if you're just, like, looking for some new music, you go into your genre section, and then you're just kind of, like, looking at the album artwork. And that's, like, I could see that being, that's, like, such a big factor. You're just kind of like, which one's, like, wow, this one is calling out to me. It's like... I'm actually pretty sure, I'm trying to think, like, I don't know if I can remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure there were maybe a couple albums myself I can remember just seeing, and, like, the artwork kind of spoke to me. I'm kind of surprised, like, I didn't think back and try to, like, remember what that was, but yeah, definitely, I could see where the artist, like, the artist of the cover, could play a big part in how popular a band would become, just because it's like, people wouldn't have checked it out if it wasn't for such an intriguing art design that it might be. So I'm just gonna oh man, I forgot to make that bigger, but oh well, it's fine. Just gonna promote a couple things real quick. We're about halfway through the stream here, so hope you're enjoying it so far. Yeah, just a couple things I wanted to let you guys be aware of real quick. If you are enjoying the stream, and you'd like to support me so I can keep doing this, there is a virtual tip jar, and I certainly appreciate that. That kind of allows me to keep doing this, and then to eventually start, improving the quality and bringing bigger and better things. So I appreciate that. Another thing I'd just like to promote is, as I was saying, is I've been involved in this Tony Hawk contest. So I'm going to post a vote link for that. And today is the last day. And to be honest, it's going to take a miracle, if, I should say today could be the last day, if I happen to advance, then yeah, it's going to go on a little longer, but, I've been in this Tony Hawk contest. It's a fundraiser, and the winner of the fundraiser, of this contest gets to meet Tony Hawk. And I've been in this for like the past month, like over a month now. And somehow, I thought it was over, but I managed to make it to the quarterfinals. That's where I'm at right now. But today's the last day of voting for the quarterfinals, and you have to get first place to advance. And last time I checked, this whole week, I have consistently been in fourth place. So it's like, yep, and right now it looks like I'm still in fourth place. Voting is going to be over in about 2.5 hours, so, around 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm trying to think, have I voted for myself today? Let me throw in a vote there. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have. But yeah, it's, so at this point, it's going to take a miracle, but, I do believe in miracles. I do believe they can happen. So I know it's a pretty slim shot, but, I still appreciate you guys kind of sticking with me and voting for me, and we'll see what happens. But and I want to at least give it my best effort, And I'm just glad to make it this far, and I really appreciate all the people who kind of have supported me in this. It's it's just a silly contest, but I really do appreciate everyone kind of taking the time to support and yeah, just kind of stick with me through all of this. It means a lot knowing that that people give a dang, that they care about the things that I'm interested in or that are important to me. So, all right, let's get back to our tier list. Daniel, we can check out some of those bands. Again, I don't know if there's a specific album from those bands. Adria said, how about Collective Soul's Dosage? Let's look that up real quick. So, I don't believe I'm familiar with this one, so I will, I'll be reacting purely, for the first time. I mean, unless it's like a very iconic image and it's like, oh, I've seen that before, Let's see, what is it called again? Collective Souls. So typing that in, Collective Souls. I don't know if it's Collective Soul or Collective Souls. I'm going to put Collective Soul for now. And the album was called Dosage. Dosage. That should be enough keywords to bring it up. Okay, yeah, so I think we got it right here. I'm not sure if I've seen this before. I might have. The font looks interesting, or looks familiar, I should say, to be honest, that font kind of gives me like early 2000s vibes, maybe late 90s. I'm kind of curious, when did this album come out? I want to see if I'm right or if I'm like way off, Collective, I'm looking on Google now. Collective Soul. And let's do, what's it called? Dosage. Sorry, I'm doing research right now. Now I'm on Google, and I'm trying to look up what year the album came out. Wow, yeah, 99. So I was, yeah, I always, I don't know. Don't know why I'm proud of myself. It's like, man, this looks like, I guess it's because I like that, it's, I grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, and so whenever I see like, I don't know how to explain it, but there is like a certain aesthetic to late 90s, early 2000s artwork. And like when I see it, I love it because it's like, it's familiar, So I might be a little biased. All right, so one, this definitely has like the good weird factor. To be honest, I think this is great. Like I would say A tier for this. It's got like that weird factor where you're like, what's going on with that, And so it's definitely something that like catches your eye and kind of tricks you in. And I think it's a very memorable image. I think that's a good test right there. Like when you see an image, like just thinking like, am I going to remember this image when I walk away from it? And to me, that's a very memorable image. So I would say A tier. I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts on that. I mean, could even be S tier, to be honest. Like that's a pretty good one. I'm gonna say A tier. I think it's yeah, but that's a good one. Like it's got like just the right amount of weird factor, and yeah, definitely serves its purpose well for an album cover. We also have so I'm guessing that's Joe Satriani, Surfing with the Alien. We'll look that one up real quick. Surfing with the Alien. Actually, to be honest, Adri, I think you've been making some really good suggestions. Like most of these album covers I haven't seen, besides the Chevelle one. But you're making some good nominations here. Is it? This looks like Silver Surfer, so I don't know if this is it. No, that's it. Yep. Okay. Joe Satriani. Yeah, cool. So I'm assuming that's it, because it's Joe Satriani Surfing with the Alien. Yep, very striking visuals, good color palette. This one I think is pretty cool. This one, I don't think it's got like enough of that odd factor to kind of like intrigue you, like bring you in, but it is like it is striking visually. So for me, I'd probably go B tier with this one. But I think that's a pretty good one. I don't know what you guys' thoughts on that one are. I'm going to put it B for now, but we might, again, this isn't just where I rank them, It's, everyone can kind of share their input, and depending on the majority vote, we can move it up or down. So I'm going to put it B tier for now. So let's see there. All right. Oh, whoops, I think I was missing some of the stuff happening here. Oh, hey, Hannah, thanks for tuning in. So, yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, Stanley's been a big supporter for the whole Tony Hawk, contest, and I appreciate you, sharing and reminding people to vote. And so I know you've been voting, and it's, it's, I appreciate it. That's been the biggest thing. Just the fact that you guys have been doing it. That's kind of what means a lot to me. Hannah, hope you're doing well. Hannah actually mentioned, she had commented on my post when I had. Usually I'll post earlier, sort of notifying people like, hey, a stream is coming up, so be ready for it. And she commented on it and shared some early nominations. So I hadn't brought them up yet because I was waiting for you to get here. So we'll dive into those in a little bit. Let's see. Daniel says names like Ed Repka, Vince Locke, or Derek Riggs are known in the metal industry for their artwork. That's pretty cool. I bet, I can't say I'm familiar with those names, but I'm sure if I looked them up, it's like, oh, wow, they're the guys who did that, 3 Days Grace, Life Starts Now would be a good one. Yeah, I agree with that. We'll bring that up in just a moment here. Stanley said, they must have set up a GoFundMe page for this man. I would really love to see you meet Tony. Yeah, I do appreciate that. I mean, it's not so much a GoFundMe. It's if people wanted to give me the financial support to do it, they could just donate with the hero votes and such. And I have had some friends who have done that. I really appreciate it. I've had one friend, however this ends, I'm planning on taking them out to dinner, just to say thank you, because they've actually put a lot of money into this, and they did not have to. And I don't know, they've been so generous with it. They thought it was anonymous at first, and then I'm like, hey, I've been notified that you just that you spent this much money on me. I'm like, wow, thank you. And they're like, oh, it's nothing. If anyone deserves it, it's you. So they've been really sweet about it. So I'm going to treat them, say thank you by taking them out to dinner, but or lunch or whatever, but let's see. Adria says, I've seen Collective Soul in concert 5 times. Wow. You'll have to forgive me. To be honest, I'll say this. I'm not sure if I'm even familiar with that group, but based off the album work, I'll have to check out their stuff, so I'll definitely have to check out their music. But that's pretty cool that you've seen them in concert 5 times. We've got, now, is Van Halen 5150, is that actually an album cover? Because I know it's an amp. There's an amp. The 5150 is like such a great amp. And so, but maybe it's based off, maybe that's the amp they used on that album or something, you know. So we'll check that one out. The Number of the Beast, Iron Maiden. All right, let me catch up. We got a lot of suggestions here, so let's see here. Let's start. Hannah mentioned some. Let's do 3 Days Grace, Life Starts Now. If this is the one, I think it is. This is a good one. I'm going to try to judge it honestly, but this is. I do think this album is iconic, especially for 3 Days Grace. Let's see here. 3 Days Grace. I think I got a typo in there. Sorry. Okay, here we go. 3 Days Grace. Life Starts Now. Now, just to clarify, for anyone just tuning in, here are sort of the guidelines. Keep in mind, we are judging the artwork, not the album, not the music. Life Starts Now. So, you know, it is very possible that like an album could be S tier, like the music is 10 out of 10, but the you know, the music. Or sorry, the artwork might not be that great. The artwork might be... In fact, there's a lot of great albums. For example, like one of my favorite Flyleaf albums, Memento Mori. I love that album, but I put it B tier. Which, just to clarify, C tier is like fine. C tier is like, you know, not necessarily good or bad. It's just, it gets the job done. It's fine. You know, even my own personal artwork, I would say, is C tier because I don't prioritize it right now in this part of my career, you know. But yeah, so... B tier, it's like it's good. It's definitely more of an effort, you know, and it's something that kind of, you know, it's more than it just works. It's definitely like an interesting album cover, just maybe nothing like amazing or iconic or anything like that. And so Memento Mori is like one of my favorite Flyleaf albums, but the artwork is B tier. However, this S tier album, we've got a Killswitch album up there. I think that artwork is just amazing, but the album itself is, you know, pretty underwhelming. You know, I'd probably rank the album like C tier, but the artwork is S tier. So just to be clear on that, we are ranking purely on, you know, the album cover, not the music. So, all right, let's see here. Catching up with the chat. Yeah. Yep, the brown sound. Hannah says, I just received the 3 Days Grace CD the other day, and it's got to be the coolest packaged CD I've ever ordered. It's literally insane. I bet that is cool. Now, keep in mind, we are judging just the artwork itself, not the whole package, because even Stan made a nomination earlier, I think, for a Pink Floyd The Wall, and it sounds like that came with some like extra packaging stuff, some like interior stuff that was really cool. But you know, the album itself was like B tier, or actually C tier kind of stuff. But let's see here. 5150 was a studio as well, I believe. Pretty good album. Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I never really looked into like where the numbers came from, because there's the 5150 and there's the 6505. I personally really like, both are good. I really like the 6505 Plus. Like, that's such a good metal guitar tone amp. You know, such a good one. Album artwork is the biggest clickbait. That's its job, you know. We were kind of talking about that. So in this day and age, like back then, you know, you couldn't sample music. Like, you literally had to walk into a music store and you just go to your section, your genre, and you were probably going to buy an album based off of the cover. You know, it was so important. So that's literally its job. The album artwork is, it's clickbait. You know, it's got to be something that kind of intrigues you enough to be like, huh, that's interesting. I want to check that out, you know. Nowadays, you know, people hear the song and they probably watch the video before they even see the album cover. So the album cover doesn't matter as much these days. And so, you know, it's definitely nice, you know, when artists can still put into it, you know, because it is cool, you know, especially if you're selling actual CDs, you know. But you know, yeah, definitely not, you know, it's not as much of a necessity these days with the current state of our music industry. Okay, so yeah, this is Life Starts Now. I was confusing this one with 1X. I feel like 1X is kind of very simple, but 1X has kind of a nice, like, it's that simple but very effective. I love the color palette here. I love the white and the black, and then these pinks and these purples coming out. Like, and it's definitely cool. I will say, not totally sure what the artwork has to do with the title, Life Starts Now, and it's just kind of a couple of these, you know, goondish looking characters, like sort of ghostly looking, and they're just kind of smashing, breaking some TVs and stuff, and then these birds are flying out. You know, maybe there's some symbolism there I'm not catching. You know, maybe they're destroying like all the distraction of media or something, you know. So maybe it's some deep message. I will say I think this is cool. I would probably have to rank it B tier because it's definitely like, you know, definitely does more than just getting the job done. But and I do really like the color palette. I could maybe, I don't know, I could maybe do A tier, but I think A tier would be a little nice. I think if I'm being, and I love this album, by the way. This is like, I love the music on this album. If I'm being honest, I would do B tier. But what about you guys? Where would you rank this? Do y'all agree B tier, or do you think it deserves to be higher? What are your thoughts? Crap, Stan, you're going to make me tear up. Stan says, I think your cover for Love Isn't Fair is A tier all the way, maybe S tier. It's kind of funny. I forgot I did that. So if you guys have seen, you know, the picture I chose for my album cover for the song I just put out, Love's Not Fair, it's yeah, crap. I forgot about that one. It's pretty has emotional context to me. So if you have seen the cover that I chose for Love's Not Fair, it's a picture of crap. Can't even say it. Sorry, just trying to compose myself. It's a picture of me and my dad, just dad holding me when I was a kid, because because that's just what the song's about. It's just about what love actually is, and you know, so often what we call love is very conditional. It's like if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you back. But and you know, even with a parent's love, you know, there's the condition of them being a parent, but not every parent chooses that condition. Not every parent chooses to love, and sorry, but I've got the best dad ever. So that was just you know, the song is actually kind of it's actually about God's love, but you know, I wanted something that just kind of captured that, you know, and I didn't want to do something too literal. I wanted something that could be a bit more symbolic, and so you know, the next thing I was thinking was just like a, you know, a father and son's, you know, kind of love. And so, so I was flipping through some old album covers and came across that picture, and I just kind of liked the way it works. So, so yeah, so I think you know, I'd have to agree. Yeah, it's yeah, just an old picture, you know, at the beach when I was a kid, and just dad holding me. So, so yeah, you know, that's one of the better ones I've come up with. But you know, most of the time, you know, my album covers are kind of like just something kind of quick that works. But yeah, that's certainly one that definitely has more of an emotional impact for me. So, all right, let's catch up here. So, all right, yep, catching up with some of the tier. Yep. Hannah saying, you know, all of 3 Days Grace album covers are S or A tier, you know, for in her book. So, um, let's see here. All right, let's get Master of Puppets by Metallica. That's a good one. I was actually going to say, you know, I have a couple thoughts here. I'm going to bring up two Metallica ones because, you know, I think Metallica's big album is the Black Album. And I'm actually going to bring that one up first because I was sort of thinking about this. So here it is right there. This is obviously like a classic album. Like even probably I'm pretty sure my favorite Metallica songs are on this album. But if I'm being honest, I think the album cover is a little underwhelming. Like just take a step back, pretend this isn't Metallica. Like if you saw this, Are you, you know, is this really like, wow, that is awesome, or that is amazing? It's like, you know, like if I'm being honest, I would probably rank this like C tier. Like it works, you know, like it gets the job done, but you know, for me, you know, there's nothing particular. Now y'all might disagree, and if you do, we'll bump it up, you know. But with that said, I wanted to bring that up because the one that Stan mentioned, Master of Puppets, I think that's like the exact opposite, pretty much. Master of Puppets. You know, this is just such a striking image, you know, which again is really good for an album cover. Like, you know, you got the hands up in the sky and the puppet strings, and you've got all the graves just going, you know, way back into like, you know, just never ending, and such a cool color palette. Like, I feel like, you know, if you saw that, I think I see this on t-shirts a lot, but yeah, if you see that, like, that's a very powerful image. So for that, I'd have to say either A or S tier. I might even say S tier. What do you guys think? You think for Metallica, Master of Puppets, do you think A tier or S tier? I'm going to put it S for now, but I'll move it down to A if y'all think it belongs there. So, but yeah, that's a good one right there as far as album artwork goes. Stan says, that's why this topic is awesome. If I saw that picture with the song title, I want to check it out. So, yeah, and it is kind of interesting how, like, I think that, like, that's another important factor. Like, yes, we're judging the artwork here, but the artwork should kind of relate to, you know, the song or the album and stuff. So I think that's important too, you know. Sometimes I think there's like a cool picture, but it doesn't seem to have like anything to do with the album, which, you know, to be honest, you know, maybe the Kill Switch one I said, you know, I'm not sure what that raging lion has to do with the theme of Atonement, the name, but that's some pretty amazing artworks. So for me, I think that's S tier. But you know, yeah, Adria says A tier. Daniel says S tier. Don't know what Stan's thought is. Let's see. I remember buying the Black Album back in '92, '93, and didn't really like the cover much at all. So, I was kind of scared to share my opinion on that, but I'm glad, you know, you kind of agree with me on that. It's like it is a little underwhelming. Again, it's a fantastic album, but you know, I think the artwork is a little like, you know, and again, just going all black, you can't even read Metallica on it, you know. So, yeah, if I had to guess, Adria, I could be wrong. You know, Daniel and Stan, y'all might have to tell me, because I know the song "Master of Puppets," but I haven't like dug deep into the lyrics. But to me, I'm pretty sure those graves are soldier graves, if I'm seeing that correctly. And so I'm guessing Master of Puppets is kind of like, you know, the overseers, like political overseers, and kind of how they are puppeting like our troops, you know, into war, and you know, or something like that. That'd be my kind of guess, my interpretation of it. And to be honest, that might not be a bad thing. You know, and again, to be honest, to say like not sure what it's saying, that might be a good thing. You know, because it kind of creates that intrigue, like. You see the pictures, you see the hands and the puppet strings and the graves, and then it's called Master of Puppets, and so you're kind of like, what does that mean? And so that might be kind of a good thing. But A tier for Adria. I think we're gonna leave it S tier, but you know, that's the thing about art too, is like people are going to connect with different things, you know. You know, what something I think is like, wow, this is great, you know, someone else might be like, really, you know, that's kind of underwhelming, and vice versa. You know, because literally with art, you're talking about like, I mean, a big part of art is color, and like you're literally trying to argue like, why is red better than blue, or vice versa, you know. And it's really just a matter, like the reason someone might like blue better than red could be like someone's like, oh, I like blue because it's calming and it's peaceful, and it's, you know, it's you know, yeah, calming and peaceful. And someone's like, well, that's why I don't like it. You know, it's calming and peaceful. That's why I like red, because it's, you know, energetic and fiery. It's like the reason someone likes something. How am I trying to phrase it? You know, the reason somebody likes something could be the same reason somebody else doesn't like that thing. You know, so yeah. Daniel says, Master of Puppets are pulling your strings, twisting your mind, smashing your dreams, blinded by me, you can't see a thing, just call my name because I'll hear you scream. So those are some of the lyrics from the song Master of Puppets. So yeah, something with manipulation and kind of I mean, in some ways it could be like your emotions just sort of affecting the way you think and how you feel about things or your logic and what to do. So pretty interesting. Let's see what else. I'm scrolling back up to see what were some of the other suggestions. Hannah, if you're still out there, I'll bring up some of the suggestions that you had mentioned earlier. Yeah, so Daniel says a lot of this album is kind of being controlled by other people. Yeah, I figured it was probably something like that. Okay, we had The Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden, and we had Van Halen 5150. Let's check out that Van Halen one real quick. Van Halen 5150. Any ideas why they call this album 5150? So I think I found it. I found a picture of... All right. Let's see if this... Okay, that should work. Yeah, 5150. Got this... I don't know if that's... Is it Atlas? Is that the name of the Greek god that supposedly is, holding the earth or something? Do you guys know what 5150 is supposed to mean or represent, or why those numbers? Interesting album cover. Definitely like, it's like, I don't know. Like when I see it, it's like, oh, there's an album cover. So I might give this like more than just works. I'd say maybe B tier. Like I think it's more interesting than C tier, but I don't know. For me, I'm not particularly overwhelmed by the artwork. There's nothing about this that's like, wow, that's really cool. I want to check that out. I mean, it's fine. So I would say either C or B tier. What do you guys think for this one? C or B? Yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'll kind of put it off to the side for right now. It was the recording studio they recorded the album at. Which to me is kind of an odd choice. It's like, like, what about the other groups, other bands that have recorded at that album studio? I don't know. Maybe they just really liked it and were like, all right, we're going to name it after the recording studio. But, they can do what they want. So, let's see. Master of Puppets, they are in the ground because of the powers that be. Yep. Cool. All right. So yeah, for this particular one, I would say C or B. Hannah, if you're out there, I know you had suggested some. I was going to bring them up, but I want to make sure you're there to see them. Okay, let me go ahead. I tell you what, I will. I'll keep it there for now. And you guys can let me know if that should be C or B. But I'm going to go ahead and dive into another song here. Let me find it real quick. So yeah, hope you're all enjoying the stream so far. If you have any other suggestions or nominations, just let me know, and we will dive into it. Getting lost with my list here. Yep, going to play an instrumental for you. Let me find it real quick. But yes, if you have any other suggestions for an album cover that we should check out, I do think we're going to play a song, check out a few more album covers, and then I am getting close to probably having to put a wrap on this soon. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. There we go. All right, got it. Yep, so let me know if you guys have another suggestion. I'm going to play an instrumental for you guys real quick. This is a song that I have not released yet. Right now it is currently an instrumental. I might turn this into a full song. I had some ideas, and I've since changed that. I do like the riffs in this one, so maybe someday in the future I'll turn this into a full song, or it might just remain a short and sweet instrumental. In fact, to be honest, I don't know. We'll see. Now I'm thinking on it, but I'll just play it. No title for this one. Hope you like it. Thank you. All right, let's catch up with the chat again. If you've got a suggestion for another album cover to check out, please let me know what you've got in mind, and I will search for it. And yeah, we'll check out a few more album covers, and then I think we're getting close to. I'll play one more song for you guys, and then might be wrapping this up soon. But yeah, let's see what we've got going on here. Hey, Jack, thanks for coming back in. Let's see here. Stan says C for Van Halen 5150. Okay, so it was Eddie Van Halen's recording studio, so that makes it a little more, yeah, it wasn't just like some random studio they went to. C tier. Okay, Jack says A tier. I threw that one in there because I love Van Halen, yet Eddie was very arrogant. Jack for me, yep. And hey, just so you guys know, yep, we're all voting, so we'll see where it ranks, based off everyone's votes. But yeah, we're not every. I don't think we're all going to be like in agreement, on every single one, So far, I think we're pretty, reasonable enough to be like, oh yeah, that's a good ranking for these. But yeah, there's gonna be some album covers like that I like that maybe you guys just don't quite connect with, and vice versa, That is the music for Why I Grew My Hair Out, So, but that was just the title of the video. That wasn't actually the title for the songs. But I guess it could be. Actually, if you want to know, it's kind of nerdy. I guess I have a demo title for that song, and the demo title for that song is called "Shadow of the Rathalos." Now, I don't know if any of you know what a Rathalos is, but it's from the video game Monster Hunter, and it's basically it's an RPG where, well, I guess it's considered an RPG. I don't know. You get to pick a character, and you get to choose what weapon class you want to use, and you just go out and you hunt giant monsters like dragons and that kind of stuff. And each time you defeat a dragon, you can take parts from it and craft like stronger armor and that kind of stuff. So it's actually a really fun game. It has a really cool like art style to it, and so. Yeah, it's a fun one. I like Monster Hunter, and so, I don't know. So, for whatever reason, I just titled that one Shadow of the Rathalos. But if I were to actually make it a song, I'd probably, change the title to whatever the lyrics would be. But, let's see here. Adria says, I think the Van Halen cover is cool. It looks shiny like metal. A for me too. Let's go ahead and put that one B tier, because yeah, sounds like there's a little bit of a divide with that one. So I think B tier is fair. Some like A, some think C. So we'll go ahead and just put it in the middle. We'll put this one B tier. All right, let's get a few more of these in here. Let's see, Daniel had mentioned Number of the Beast. Let me get that real quick. Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. Now, to be honest, I've always thought Iron Maiden had some pretty cool artwork. They always kind of had like this zombie thing, you know. And so I do like, I don't know if that's a certain character or if that's supposed to be one of the band members, but now obviously we got, you know, a little devil in the middle there. Let's see here. The funny thing is, I think the design of the devil is a little goofy. And he really pops, which might be a good thing, you know, might be kind of that like, you know, attention getter, but I feel like he kind of, like if you covered him up, I feel like everything else in the album kind of like complements each other and blends nicely. Like he almost looks like a sticker that someone put on there, if that makes sense. You know, I think it's a pretty solid album cover. I would give it either B tier or A tier. Again, I think I like the, I've seen some other Iron Maiden artwork, and I do like kind of their zombie characters, so I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I would say either A or B tier, but what are you guys' thoughts on the Iron Maiden one? Stanley says, love the song, it rocks. Yep, be curious to hear what you guys think. So the guy above is Eddie. That's Iron Maiden's mascot. Okay, and this album cover is artwork drawn by an artist. Now, yeah, that's always cool when, you know, someone drew it and stuff. So, okay, so I have seen that zombie character before. Well, I definitely like the design of Eddie. I think, like that it's really well done. Like he doesn't just look like you recognize him as Iron Maiden's zombie, you know? It's not just like, oh, look, a zombie. It's like, no, that's Iron Maiden's zombie. Or, you know, if it is a zombie, it looks like a zombie. You know? But, so, yeah, I've always recognized that and always liked the design of that character. I think that is pretty cool. So, yeah, curious to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Yep. Daniel saying A. So we'll go ahead and put an A for now, but be curious to hear what the rest of you think. It might stay A, might go up, might go down, but we'll put this one A tier. All right, I think I'm going to pull out one real quick. Thinking out loud here. Let's see. I want to bring up kind of another sort of simple but interesting one. There's an album put out from the band Switchfoot back in 2004. Switchfoot, Meant to Live. And, you know, to be honest, I don't know what this artwork has to do with the name of the album, Meant to Live, but I think this is a good photograph. There's something kind of cool about this picture. Well, I wonder if I can find... This one's got, like, the black sides. Let me delete that real quick, see if I can find a better one. Oh, Beautiful Meltdown. That's what it's called. Sorry, not Meant to Live. Meant to Live is a song on there, but... Beautiful... Letdown. You know, I guess the artwork definitely works closer to the phrase beautiful letdown than it does, you know, Meant to Live. But this is another one of those like photographs that's just like, to me, has like that intrigue. Like you just got this, you know, I think it's a bass. It looks like a guitar, but yeah, I think it's a guitar. Okay, you got a guitar at the bottom of this pool, you know, this drained pool, and yeah, I don't know. It's just the album itself is like, you know, there's definitely a few songs in there I like. You know, Switchfoot has a few songs that I really like, but you know, I would never, I wouldn't say they're like, you know, a favorite band of mine or anything. But I have always like, this is just an image that's always kind of stuck in my head. I do think there's something cool about that photograph. So for me, I would actually go A tier with this. I think this is one of those covers that's like, yeah, it just kind of creates that little bit of intrigue. Like, what's that all about, you know? And like I don't know. Yeah, nothing too complicated, but it's got like a cool cohesive color palette and just kind of a cool photograph, you know. And it definitely you know, it's got kind of that punk rock sort of vibe to it. So I would say A tier, but I'd be curious to hear your guys' thoughts. What do y'all think of that picture? Is that like, oh wow, that's cool, or is it like, I don't know, it's not really doing it for me. See, Adria says, Iron Maiden, creepy, but it works. I can't rate it because I don't like that style of art at all. That's funny, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if, so far, I'm not sure Adria has been much of a fan of, you know, some of the more, like, kind of gritty or vicious-looking, you know, artwork, you know, anything, like, too creepy or kind of thing. But hey, you know, it's nice to have, like, a variety of opinion in the chat. Switchfoot, awesome. I love that. I want that on my wall. So that's probably a good sign. Like if you want that picture on your wall, then that's probably a good album cover, you know. So, and yeah, that's what I think. Like, you know, it's just, it definitely looks like an album cover, you know. You ever see that? You ever see like a picture and you're like, that would make a good album cover? It's just like, and I don't know what it is. Like it really is like there's such a interesting. Like there really is an art to album artwork, you know. Again, I said this earlier, but it's more than just like a cool looking picture. It's the art of creating something that catches your eye and just like, you know, just kind of makes you think, like it invokes curiosity. You know, it's a picture that makes you want to know what's that's all about. That's the phrase I keep coming back to, is like, what's it all about? And so I think that's, you know, that's what I like about like some of these photographs we found, like especially like in these A tier list. You know, I think a lot of these really nail that like S tier for sure, but you know, we've got a lot in A tier. These are those pictures that balance that fine line between like just a bit odd or a bit off or just something like just slightly weird enough, but there's something, maybe it's beautiful or maybe it's kind of intriguing, just something about it that like you just want to know more. And I think that's the whole point of album artwork, is like you've got to listen to it because you've got to know what you want to know what it's all about, you know. So yeah, so that's a good one. I would say A tier. I would almost maybe even put that S tier. I mean, after Adria's comment, you know, it's like that's a really good one. So but I don't know, what do you all think? You think A tier, you think higher, you think lower? Let me know what y'all think on the Switchfoot. And we'll see if we can do a few more. I'm going to scroll. You know, Hannah had made a few suggestions, but I think she's gone. I wanted to, there were actually some good suggestions. I wanted to pull those up, but let's see here. I'm scrolling to see if there were any that I missed, any suggestions, but I think I'm mostly caught up. There might have been a few like bands that were mentioned, but I don't know if there were like any other specific album covers. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, not sure. Let's see. I can share another one if no one else has a suggestion here. I'm going to share. All right, I'm going to share one. I don't know what you guys will think of this, but here's a fairly recent album cover, and I actually think it's a really good album cover. But you know, this is kind of outside of the realm of rock, but I actually quite like a lot of Katy Perry's songs. I think she has a lot of great. She's, you know, probably one of my favorite pop artists. Most of her, you know, she had a lot of hits like back in like the, you know, mid 2000s, early 2010s. You know, had a lot of hits. I actually have to check out more of her new music. I think some of her singles didn't quite do it for me, but maybe she had some other songs on her album that I would have liked. I really haven't checked out too much of her new stuff, but, you know, every now and then she'll release a song. She did release an album recently called Smile, and I do like that song and a couple of the songs on that album. But I don't know. I think she's got good, empowering lyrics and just really catchy, catchy hooks and, like her singing voice. And so I like a lot of Katy Perry's music. So, but I think this is a great album cover. This is the album's called Smile, and it's a picture of her. If it'll come back, it disappeared on me. Come on. Usually it comes back. I'm not sure why it's disappeared. See if I can fix that. All right, let's try again. Because sometimes it'll disappear and then it'll just it'll come back. That's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. That's really inconvenient. Maybe if I change the size. Nope, nothing. Okay, well, you saw it for a split second, but basically it's just a photograph of her, and, she's kind of got the clown nose on, and obviously clowns are known for, being goofy and silly, but she's sporting a frown. Man, well, guess it's just, maybe it's too good to be on this list, I was going to rank it A tier, but yeah, for, usually in the genre of pop, usually for solo artists, that's actually why for a lot of my artwork or my album covers, I've kind of experimented with a few different things. I definitely have some, pictures on there, some designed images, but I've been trying to go more the photographic route because I'm trying to promote myself as a solo artist. And so that's something you see kind of different from bands versus, solo artists or, so especially in pop where usually it's just a single vocalist. Usually it's going to be a photograph of that singer. And so what's kind of cool in pop, I think it's fun how, I'm refreshing. Oh, does that mean something bad? I don't know. Yeah, not sure what's happened, but anyway, yeah, I just think, it's kind of fun how they'll take the vocalist and they'll kind of dress up for the theme of the album, whatever it might be, and so so I thought that was just just matched with the theme. It's just kind of, I feel like that goes with the whole vibe of the album. It's kind of a pop album, but it's I don't know. Oh, did the video go black for a moment? Did it mess up? Can you see and hear me? Yeah. Can you all see and hear me? Hopefully we're still doing all right. As far as I can tell, it says I'm still streaming. Okay, so it sounds like there was maybe a glitch for a bit. So, but hopefully we're back. Hopefully it's working. So, yeah, not sure what the deal was with that one, but yeah, that was kind of another one. It's weird. I think. Okay. Says it's good now. Cool. All right, so, yeah, was going to do that one, but maybe that one's causing the glitch. Not sure why. Could be, part of me wonders if it's a copyright thing or something. Maybe I'm streaming and I'm showing an image and they're like, you can't show that image, because it's owned by a big, corporation or something. I don't know. All right, any last suggestions before I, close this out with one final song? I think we've got some pretty cool choices here. Yep, thanks, Jack. Sorry, Quincy, I can't yet. So, Adria, can you not see me right now? Can you hear me? It sounds like a glitch for a moment, so hopefully I'm back. Everyone else seems to be fine, so But okay. Yeah, if there's any last suggestions, we'll check them out. Again, I kind of had a feeling like I don't think we're, I don't think we're going to get past C. I think C is probably going to be the lowest because all of you are so nice, so, and even me, like, I don't know. I'd have to, like, even underwhelming artwork is like, it still works. Like, I think it's pretty hard to mess up an album cover. Like literally, if your album cover, probably the closest thing I would say is, even the Metallica Black album. Like if it was just black, then yeah, maybe you would put that like F tier, But at least they got like a little snake in the corner, so it's like, it worked. That's kind of what redeems it. That's kind of what makes it work. So I feel like it's hard to completely just fail at an album artwork. Because even if you were trying to do something cool and it came off kind of goofy, people might think that's what you meant to do, and like it might still create intrigue. So slide the bar back and then forward. Let me see. Not sure what you mean by that. Well, is something still not working right? Slide the bar back and forward. What bar? So yeah, hopefully everything's okay. I'm not sure if something is still glitched out or what. Not sure what might have happened. Let's see. Adria, can you... Okay. Jack's saying we should bump the wall up to B. We were saying, yeah, 1 second. Let me finish typing something real quick. Adria, can you see and hear me? And Stan, I'm not sure what you mean. Like, I don't see any black bar. I mean, unless you're talking about the black bars on the tier list, but I don't know. Like, everything I'm looking at, it looks like it's streaming the way it's supposed to be. So, I'm sorry. I meant for her watching the stream. Okay. Yeah, make sure you're clarifying who you're talking to. So, yeah, hopefully that might help. But yeah, so Jack, earlier when we were talking about the wall, it's fine. I think again, like it's kind of like, again, even the way I'm describing it, it's like it works. Like it's called the wall. It's not just white. It's got like sort of that brick texture, and so it's an image that like it works to serve the album. But yeah, I personally didn't feel like it kind of created much intrigue or anything like that. So, it's definitely not a bad album cover, but it's just, I don't think there's anything like really spectacular about it, So now if you think it's a B, that's totally fine, but that's why it's at C tier. So, yeah, let's see here. Adri says, I still can't hear y'all, but I got to go to the store shopping for camping food. Have a great night, everyone, and rock on. Thanks, Quincy. Take care. Too bad you can't hear me. Good. 1 second. I'm going to type really fast. Yeah, sorry that's not working. I was going to play one more song for y'all. Well, that Adria could hear too. So, anyway, glad it seems to be working now. So, okay, Adria can work. Well, great. Well, I know you got to get some shopping done, so why don't I go ahead and play one last song for you all? I think we've had a pretty good list. I think this is a pretty cool list here, and even some of these, like some of you guys brought up a few album covers that, like I'm not sure that I've listened to them, so I'll. Already, I'm like, I'll have to check some of these out. So, yeah, this has been fun. Let me go ahead. I'm going to play one more song for you all. I exited and came back in. I mean, yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. Adria, I know you're planning to go camping with your family soon, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Let me go ahead. I'm going to play one more song for you, and then you can get all that shopping and stuff taken care of. So let me see. What is my last song? Let me get my set list real quick. Okay, got it. All right, so this last one, this one goes out to you, Adria. But I appreciate all of you tuning in, and yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed that. You know, we'll do more brackets and tier lists in the future for sure. But let me go ahead and play one more song for you. This is a song that I released a little while back. Shot a music video for it, so yeah, hope you like it. Let me get my guitar pick and guitar. All right, hope you like it. This one's called Waking Up. It's too much effort to pull away the covers that hold me down and won't let go. It smothers me, the weight of this anxiety pressing me into my pillow. A blissful sleep, chasing lies and counting sheep. It sure is easy, but not for me. So here I am, with all I have. I'm waking up, I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up, so I can start to dream. I toss and turn, and tick by talk the hours burn, pleading for this night to end. Part of me begging to go back to sleep. It sure is easy, but not for me. So here I am, with all I have. I'm waking up, I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up, so I can start to dream you're not worth less. You have purpose. Time to dream So here I am, with all I have. I'm waking up, like facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up, so I can start to dream. So here I am, with all I have. I'm waking up, I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop start to dream. Thank you. Again, that one's called Waking Up, and I have released that song. That's available on Spotify or wherever you like to listen to music. You can find it there. So, all right, let me catch up with the chat, and then I do think we are going to put a wrap on this. So let's see here. Well, Jack says, nah, I just said that because it seems so lonely. Did you notice that the Black album is next to it? So we did have, here, I'll bring it back up real quick. So I don't know if you saw, we put, yeah, and that's kind of a testament to it. We put Metallica's Black album on C tier as well. And you almost can't even see it. It kind of just like blends in with the background. So I feel like if you're trying to put an album out, you know, I mean, maybe the store shelves, you know, had more color to them, or, you know, had like a white color, so the black really popped. But, you know, yeah, you know, if looking at all these albums like just right next to each other, actually, I kind of want to ask you guys, with all these put together, is there a particular album that your eye is just drawn to? You know, I know it's kind of small, but is there a particular album where you're like, yeah, my eye just kind of goes to that one, you know? But yeah, the Black one, definitely, like, you almost don't even notice it there. If I'm being honest, like, I'm trying to, like, kind of look indirectly. To be honest, that Collective Soul album really kind of draws me. Like, my eye kind of goes to that one. That face there, it really pops out. That one and the Switchfoot one kind of do it. And, of course, like, the Nirvana one at the top, that one kind of pops out a little bit too. So, but, yeah, I'd be kind of curious if there is a certain one that sort of hops out. Check your encoder settings, keyframe. So I'm getting some notes here. Maybe something did go kind of weird. Stanley says, love this. Daniel says, yeah, this is a good one. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes, from Stan. Oh, man, way to go. All in it. Yeah. Thanks, Adria. Appreciate that. Thanks for the clap. Yeah, Stan says Master of Puppets. That one kind of pops out for him. Well, guys, you know, I thought this was fun. You know, we'll have to do like another round of this sometime in the future. So, you know, thank you all for tuning in. You know, Adria, I hope you have fun. You know, camping and all that stuff. You know, with your family, and yeah, I hope y'all have a great time doing that. Guys, thanks for joining me. If you'd like to support me, I do have, posting links now, I do have a virtual tip jar, and I do appreciate the support. This just allows me to kind of keep doing this, and then hopefully to, you know, start bringing you bigger and better content as well. And so I definitely appreciate the support. If you don't have the financial means to support me, my biggest goal right now is building an audience. So you can help me do that by sharing my content, sharing my music so people can hear it, inviting people to the streams, and, you know, all the standard stuff, liking the videos, commenting on the videos, all that stuff. But really just anything to kind of spread the word and just kind of get my music out there. That really helps. But also joining my email list. So I just posted another link for the email list. If you haven't already joined, you know, this allows me to kind of keep you notified. So whenever there's a new release, you know, I can contact you directly and just let you know, like, hey, I've got a new song out, or hey, here's what we're doing for the stream this week. And, you know, just kind of keep you up to date with some of the things I'm doing. So if you haven't joined my email list, there's a link for that right there. And then one last link I'm going to post. Again, today is the last day of the Tony Hawk contest. So I'm going to post, I'm going to post a link there for, what is it? Yeah, the last day to vote for the Tony Hawk contest. And again, it's going to take a little bit of a miracle for things to work out, but we'll see what happens. Got a comment from Hey Left. You have been Bogdaned. Not sure if I know what that means. I don't know if that's something that I'm just not familiar with, but appreciate you tuning in. You're the first person to tune in on Twitch, so just to fill you in, I'm new to Twitch. This is my first stream on Twitch. I'm streaming to YouTube as well, and so I'm multi-streaming right now. And but I appreciate you tuning in. Let's see here. Cool. You got raided, So is that a... Okay, so I guess that's a bad thing. So I'll have to look that up and learn that. So apparently I got raided over on Twitch. So not sure what that means, but yeah, we'll figure that out later. Anyway, for those of you watching, appreciate you tuning in. Jack says, thanks for the stream, Quincy. You're awesome. Yeah, my pleasure, Jack. I hope you have a great rest of the week, all of you guys. And yeah, that's it. I'll hope you all have a good evening or morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the rest of the world. Until next time. Hey, Twitch watchers, are you guys still there? So it sounds like I just got a boost of viewers. Sorry, this is my first time streaming on Twitch, so I figured since all of you showed up, I might play one more song for you. So if you're still out there, you know, if you guys would like to hear a song, just let me know and I'll play you guys one. If not, I was going to wrap it up. This was going to be the end of the stream, but yeah, if you just popped on over, you know, you're certainly, I'll play a song for you guys, but yeah, just let me know if you'd like to hear one or not. Let me see if I can find what a good one would be to play. Looking for a, we'll try this one. This one's not too bad, if anyone's out there and wants to hear it. Yes, still here. Okay, cool. Yeah, again, this is the first time I'm multi-streaming right now, so I was streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Usually I do streams on YouTube, but, oh, Stan's still around, so yeah, Stan's from the YouTube crowd. But trying to multi-stream, but yeah, just trying to kind of get some more music out there. So if you guys are kind of a fan of, you know, metalcore or alternative metal stuff, you know, like Killswitch Engage, Chevelle, Flyleaf, that kind of stuff, you know, that's sort of the type of music I make. So, so yeah, I might go ahead and play one more song for you guys since, yeah. Oh, Move On. Okay, yeah, thanks for the request. Yeah, I'll play, yeah, I'll play Move On. I think that's a good choice. Let me pull it up real quick. All right, well, everyone on Twitch, appreciate you coming over. I'll play a song for you guys, and yeah, hopefully you'll like it. This is a song I put out, I think late last year, something like that. This one's called Move On, so I'll play it for you. Hope you like it.
Obsessed, you're blind to your progress. Oh, see how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on, so move on. See how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on, so move on. Taste and see Now you've been set free. Yeah. See how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on. So move on. See how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on. So move on. So move on. When you find yourself at the end of your road, you know it's not over. When you find yourself at the end of your rope, you know it's not over. You've been down this road more than once before, and it won't stop you this time. No. See how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on. So move on. See how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on. Thank you. Again, that one was called Move On. And that song's available on Spotify or wherever you like to wherever you like to music. Wherever you like to music, you should be able to find it there. Wherever you like to listen to music, you should be able to find it there. So if you like the song, you can listen to it again. So I'll see if anything's going on in the chat. Again, this is my first time actually streaming to Twitch, and this is actually the end of my stream. I was just wrapping up, and then all of a sudden I was notified that a bunch of people were starting to show up. So yeah, let's see what we got going on here. Just kind of scrolling back through the chat. I don't know if Adria stuck around. That's cool. Okay, little LP vibes. Yeah, maybe a little bit of some, like, if you mean Linkin Park, maybe a little bit. I like it. Hey, thanks. Nice. Awesome, Stan. Thanks. Sounds a little bit like Drowning Pool. Yeah, maybe a little bit in there. Breakdown, there's a little bit of kind of a breakdown in there. Like a mix of Linkin Park and Drowning Pool. Here it comes, yeah. Blah! Yeah, gotta get the blah in there, you know. Love the lights. Hey, thanks, Stan. Yep, trying to make it more interesting. It's just kind of a white background, so. That was great. Yeah, thanks for the applause. Thanks, Stan, you really nailed it. Such an amazing song, sounds extra amazing tonight. Well, thanks. Yeah, I meant Linkin Park. Yeah, I figured that's kind of what you meant by LP. Hey, thanks, appreciate it. So, yeah, you know, this is kind of the end of the stream, but I'm planning to continue. I'm going to stream every Thursday. Not sure what time zone you guys are. I'm Eastern Standard, so I'm going to post. Going to be streaming on Thursdays at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I might move that a little later. I might do that more like 6:30. But a little new to this. I've been streaming, just to kind of fill you guys in, been streaming on YouTube for a while, and you know, that's been going nice. But I'm a solo recording artist, and I enjoy songwriting, and I've put out a few songs. You know, if you look me up on Spotify or again wherever you like to listen to music, you can find some of my songs there, see which ones I've released, and yeah, you know, just trying to kind of build up an audience, trying to find people who like this kind of music and stuff. So I figured I'd try Twitch out, so I'm going to be streaming here for a while. And this was the first time kind of testing it out. I wasn't really expecting anyone to show up, so kind of nice that this was kind of a nice little surprise at the end for you guys to kind of pop in like that. So, so yeah, if you like it, yeah, you can just, you can follow me. You can follow me here on Twitch. Again, I am over on YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff. You can find the music I've released on Spotify and Apple Music and all that. And so I do appreciate that. If you really want to stay notified, I'll post a link here. You can join my email list, and then that way I can notify you whenever I'm going live. Whenever and whenever I've got a new song release and that kind of thing. And I'll post one more link for you. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, if you want to check out some of my music, here is a link. I just recently put out a song. Now, the song I just put out is kind of a softer song, so it's not quite as heavy as the one I just played. But I put out a song called Love's Not Fair. So if you hit that link, it's going to take you to that song, but it takes you to a page with a bunch of links to like Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff. So if you go to one of those places, it's kind of a nice place just to get to where all my music is. Bandcamp, if any of you like to download music, you can download my music for free from Bandcamp. So, awesome. Well, that was a nice surprise. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks for educating me on what it means to get rated. So, yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, Twitch is like, I've been on YouTube for so long, but Twitch is like a new planet, It's like so I've still got a lot to learn, like of like the lingo and the kind of what's normal over on Twitch and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for tuning in, guys. All right, so this is my second goodbye. I hope you all have a wonderful evening or morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Again, the name is Quincy Kane, and yeah, hope to see you next time.